Most of the time here on First Down Playbook, when we talk about really offense, defense, special teams, we talk about really two different levels when it comes to varsity, high school, and when it comes to youth. Today, however, we're going to talk about a defense that we think fits both varsity, high school, youth, whatever, in certain situations. Now, it's a goal line defense when it comes to the high school age coaches and players. It's a really every down defense when it comes to youth football because of the inexperience and arm strength of the quarterback. Now, before we get into detailing the play, I just want to show you how we found it. Now, we went into tackle, varsity, 11v11 defense, goal line, and you can see we're playing man coverage on all of those. And then down here, you can see we've got odd front and even front goal line defense. So the goal line defense to us at the high school, college level is when you're on the 2 yard line or in. And so your backs are really against the wall. So let's take a look. All right, here we are with their, a 6-2 defense. And I'm going to use our new whiteboard feature here to detail out some of the things today. All right, and so when you're down here, all right, looking at the front, you can see what we're talking about, once again, is a 6-2 front. Very, very common when it comes to youth football. Not so much when it comes to high school football because you're going to have spread formations and a little bit of everything else. You're typically going to have a 4-2 or a 3-3 or something like that. But if the offense, and that's the very first thing to look at here, if you're playing an offense and when they get in this situation, it might be short yardage, it might be goal line, when they're going to bring in 23 personnel, all right, 2 backs, and they're bringing in 3 tight ends, all right, and there may even be an extra tackle here, all right. When you get this personnel and you see it, that's when you've got to get your extra personnel in. You notice there's only one corner out here, all right. Maybe don't even need that, but you're going to, obviously, you already have 6, all right, bigger people right here, 4 people with their hand in the dirt. The Will and the Sam can also put their hand in the dirt. You've got an extra backer. You've got a Mike backer. All right. You've got safeties. And once again, maybe one corner. And there's a reason for that I'll get into in just a second. So 3 reasons we like this, whether it would be high school or youth. The first thing is, once again, it is a run-stop defense. And when you get in this situation on defense back against the wall, you do have coverage assignments for everybody. You're sound, okay, but as you see a lot in the NFL and college football, you'll see that, when there's a block right here and then somebody releases out here to the flat, whatever, then sometimes they're not covered because it's hard and the offense is going to put you in conflict of assignment, running the ball right at you, all right, and faking and then backing off for a pop pass or whatever. But you've got to stop the run first. So the second reason that we like this right here is because, once again, of the personnel matchups that are more conducive really to youth football. This is something that you might want to play every down in youth football because this quarterback right here is not a high school quarterback. It's not a college quarterback. And 9 times out of 10, that quarterback can't hurt you dropping back. All right. So, and then the final thing, all right, that I want to point out why we like this for youth football as well as high school football is just your adjustments. All right. So, I mean, if this wing goes in motion right here, your adjustments are very simple. You're not bumping off or anything. You can see right here that this corner is going to travel, all right, with that wing wherever they go. And your strong safety, all right, has got this tight end. Your free safety has got this tight end. All right, even if they shift or whatever, you stay sound in the run game, all right, with your 6 down linemen or 4 down linemen, 2 backers, and then you also have your 2 inside backers. So for those 3 reasons, we like this at the youth football level and also the high school level. Now, let's take a look at what actually is going on here. You're lining up very balanced. You're lining up in a 9 technique here, all right? A 9 technique or really a gap player just because of the wing. The Sam's going to widen a little bit, but you've got 5 techniques with your tackles, maybe widen it a little bit depending on what the splits are, and you've got 2, all right, 2 techniques or 2 eyes. And so on the snap of the ball, what you're doing is you're going to make a rip, all right, and this would be a rip right here, all right, because the formation is strong to the defense's right. And what rip tells the people up front, it tells the will, in, tackle, tackle, in, all going to stunt to the strength of the formation. All right, now, once again, like I just said, very simple adjustment. If something were to happen and he were to go in motion or shift, now it becomes a Liz call. All right, simply switch it over. None of your coverages change. You're still sound there, but now your will. All right, everybody is going to stunt to their left. So it gives you a chance to have a simple, all right, and clear adjustment. Now, if they break the whole formation and come out with something, here and here, all right, that is a game time a game week adjustment to where now what happens is if you've got your backers that are going to go out there and cover them, all right, or maybe your safeties are going to go out and cover them, what you're going to do is, all right, and probably the safety would go out and cover, and the safety would go out and cover, and now your backers would have the tight ends to stay strong in the run game inside. But if they both did it, you don't really have a run game with your backs. It would have to be the quarterback run game. So once again, really just something that you could play each and every week, but it's very important that you recognize the 23 personnel, 2 backs, 3 tight ends, or 2 tight ends and an extra tackle coming into the football game. But if you go into First Down Playbook, we also take our time to go in and coach up every position, exactly what the adjustments are to shifts, motions, and trades, and all of that.